So thank you for being patient with us as we try this new format since we're in two different states this week. Next week we'll be in the same state, but this week we are in different states. So we are excited to bring to you the next mystery. It won't start until the second half of July. I'm working out which Friday it will start based on my schedule. But it's called Holiday Festival. And it is going to be similar to my previous holiday mysteries. We're going to have one selection that's a holiday fabric and one alternative. And it will remain the same format. It'll have 16 clues. It's going to have 3 or 4 weeks that are bi-weeks to allow you all to catch up, as well as for me to work my day job at AQS. So we have a couple shows this fall. And we have a seam quilt retreat. So my retreats are getting less and less. I'll only have probably about 5 annually going forward. But one will be the AQS seam retreat, and then one will definitely be in Connecticut, maybe 2, and one will be in Maine, maybe 2 in Maine. And then Stronghouse, if I'm not doing one, the second in Connecticut or the second in Maine, I'll be keeping Stronghouse. So it's all to see how this year goes, and then I will be able to determine what next year is. But anyhow, I am going to continue with the 2 mysteries, which should be a little easier to achieve with not doing a home rento, moving, all sorts of things. It should make it a little bit easier for this next one. So first and foremost, anybody who's been doing the current mystery with me, I greatly appreciate your patience. It has been pretty traumatic. It's been a difficult year, to say the least. To move 1,000 miles to a house that needs renovations, to be away from your friends, your family, and unfortunately, I lost my mother last August. So it has been a pretty trying year and a lot of things to get used to. So I appreciate all of you being with me throughout it. So with that being said, I'm super excited about this mystery. It'll be 16 clues, like I said, with 3 to 4 bi-weeks. And those will be, I'll get that schedule put together and get it out there. But basically, if there's an AQS quilt week or I have a large quilt retreat, those are the weeks I typically try and put the bi. If something happens and I end up trying to replace it, it never seems to work out well. So I'm going to hold my ground and keep those as bi-weeks because it's just a lot going on. Teachable, I've been doing a lot of conversations with them. I just got off the phone with them today again about my fireworks platform, and they have some major improvements coming in the early July, which I think will knock it out. I think there are a lot of people who run classes on Teachable, and it works really, really well. I think that the format that I use, where I'm releasing a segment every week, is different for them. It's typically like a big bang where someone releases all of them at the same time. So there's things that happen on my platform that they just don't take into account or think about. So my apologies for them as well. But it does sound like they understand more how myself and I think a few others would like to use Teachable and do use Teachable. So hopefully those kinks will be knocked out for this as well. I was expecting to start this in early July, but with the backing up of Blooming Stars, as well as Teachable telling me that they're going to have this major release on the 4th of July weekend, I postponed it. And therefore I'm giving myself an extra week after that to make sure that it's all in good order. So this mystery will start the second half of July. I'll get you that Friday. It is going to use a couple more tools. So it's in line with, I would say half my holiday mysteries have been focused on like the Rapid Star, the Rapid Lemoyne Star, or the Wedge Star, and a couple tools, or they've been a powerhouse of several tools. And this is back to a pretty intense mystery where we're going to learn lots of different techniques with the staple tools, as I call them. So the Tucker trimmer, the squared, and all this is in a download that's on my website as well as the class registration. The corner beam and the corner pop. So those are two different tools, and the V block. So Tucker trimmer, square, corner beam, corner pop, and V block. And then of course you have to have your magic wand. But 5 tools basically that have all been out for a very long time. So I think most of you will have them all. So anyhow, so my shop will come off of vacation mode probably closer to Friday. So if you're looking to buy any tools right now, my shop is not available, but would be on by Friday. But your coupon code lasts through December. So any tools you need, you can get on there. So I've covered the tools, the number of weeks, when it's starting, the sizes. So traditional size, with the traditional border is going to be 97 by 97. And then the modern setting is going to be 87 by 87. And for those of you who know my mysteries and are familiar with it, just means that that massive border that goes on the end is the only difference between those two, and then they're reflective in Cheryl's kits. And so she'll talk about that in a bit. The other thing is the fabric, which we're going to talk about. Sign up is available on my website, as well as if you go into the chat, the very first link I put is the enrollment link, but you can just basically go out to goonthego.net. But I think most of you are here to see the fabric, but before we get to the fabric, any questions other than the fabric? You just have to unmute yourself. All right, so a walk in the park will not be released. That's a mystery that I've done at retreats. It's currently only available in retreats. I'll probably look to release it next year. Yeah, so some of you know this, that next week I will do the same thing. I host a spring camp up in Rangeley, Maine, and that has a mystery in it. And it is available to those who attend that mystery. And then I usually offer it as retreat options at all my retreats for the following year. And then I would look to release it. Cheryl, what do you think? Should we start talking to them about the fabric?
I think we should show some yummy fabric because a lot of it arrived this week.
Woohoo! So being that we're so late, a couple things. One, the fabric is, it sounds like, almost ready to be shipped. 2,
we have to cut it all, so not quite ready to ship.
Not quite, yes,
quite.
But closer in.
But we're getting closer, yes.
Yeah, normally we try and do this before Cheryl actually gets the fabric. So that's one benefit. The second thing you should know is that I always do a discount, and that's no coupon needed for those who watch. And basically the first week. So I've given you a little bit more than a week. You'll have the mystery will go to early bird on the 16th of June, which the early bird price is $120. If you purchase before the 15th, no coupon needed, you can get it for $90. So no coupon needed. If you go out and you follow the links to it between now and the 15th, you'll get it for $90. On the 16th, it will go to its half price, which is technically $120. And then on July 1st, it'll go to full price at $240. All right. So let's talk fabric, and then we'll take more questions. All right. So per usual, we have 2 sets of fabric. We have the main fabric selection and then an alternate. Both are 38 back quarters. And so we'll show you that. And then depending on whether or not you want the traditional setting or the modern setting would determine how much of that border fabric you're getting. If you're doing the modern setting, you're just going to get enough for binding. And if you are doing the traditional, the kit's gonna include your border, the full border and binding fabric. Plus it includes your background. And I'll let Cheryl get into, once we show the fabric, the questions regarding the differences in the kits. One more asked to repeat the prices. So the prices are, the normal mystery is $240. If the early bird is $120, but for the next 14 or 10, 11 days, up until June 15th, you can get it for $90. And then on June 16th to June 30th, it'll be $120, and then I'll go to full price on July 1st of $240. And it requires, I think Cheryl put it in the chat as well, the tools that it requires are the Tucker trimmer, squared, corner beam, corner pop, V-block, and the magic wand. And again, all of this is available on my website, where you can download the overview. All right. So let's see here. I think we're in good shape. Now everybody can hear, nod, yes, you can. No background noise. Good, good. Okay. All right. Are we ready to show some fabric? I'm looking for Cheryl to make sure she's
Yes,
unmuted
yes,
there.
please.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to switch to my other camera.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Isn't it? Very exciting. All right. Can you still hear me over here?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So Cheryl, anything we want to ask them before or tell them before I unveil?
No, I think we can talk about it after you unveil.
All right. So here is our first selection.
Ooh.
And this is Berry and Pine. And it is really ta-da. So this collection had 32 fabrics. And then Cheryl and I selected these additional 6 to get us to the 38, so that both collections are the same number of fat quarters. So it's really, really cute. I would say both of the collections are pretty sophisticated this year, but yet there is some whimsy. And so for the background, what we selected was this beautiful dots. So we felt that, you know, with that quarters, that having the dots would really add a little whimsy to it, be easier to see.
Oh, there you go.
When allergies.
Yeah, it is really cute. It has little gray dots, red, and hunter green. So, and then for the background, or the border, we selected this beauty, which, let me just put this over here. And I'll hold up the fat quarter of this as well. So it really is beautiful. It's like a sage blue green, and then it has these little pink, I don't know if they're meant to be roses or peonies, but they're just beautiful. And then like white poinsettias. It is really gorgeous. All right. So it has some musical notes, little Christmas trees, bells, has a lot of different little texture. This little print is beautiful as well. So, and then to add to the main collection, we pulled out these. We have a few, we continued with some more dots. And then we have 2 solids. And so it really amplifies some of the dots that are already there. In one of the hunter green, and then in the red, there's a tone on tone, which is dots as well. So really, really cute. And I would say sophisticated with a little whimsy. Any questions on this, or any ones that you want to see close-ups of? Berry and Pine.
Thank you.
I had the card, but somehow I lost it, so sorry. Yeah. trying to see how it looks here. Let me see if I can pin it. Is that better for most of you?
Yeah, that's getting better. It's definitely a lot less muddy.
Yes, much better.
Okay.
Now, if you can show the background and the border, now that we've cleared it up a bit, I think we'll be able to see it a lot better.
Sure. So this
Yeah.
is your background. So it's white, pure, I would say white. And then it has red, like a dark red, dark green, and silver dots, which really pull from all the different colors here. And then the border is going to be this fabric, which is really pretty. And I would even say, I don't know how you feel about it, Cheryl, but I feel like this collection could go beyond Christmas because it's not terribly Christmas.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so I feel like you can keep out the quilt a little longer because it has just the little trees and the poinsettias. So it's not like in your face Christmas.
Correct.
We also went with this blue dot to kind of pull out. There really is this blue silver that's in a couple of these prints that once you put it next to this blue dot, it seems to draw it out a lot more. And if you can see that there.
And there wasn't a lot of the pink in the main collection, which is why we added those 3
Yes.
pinky ones to pull out some of that pink.
Yeah, because as most of you know, with my mysteries, I often leverage having different shades. And so with all of these being this dark red, the pinks give us a little help there, as well as having this lighter green as well. So really, really cute. I'll open this one up here as we go back and forth. So you can kind of see that one a little bit better. Any questions on this one? All right. So are we ready to see the next one?
Yes.
All right. So here is the next one. Let's see if I can lay this somewhere, not lose it.
Don't drop it.
Don't drop it. Don't have Max take it out. All right. So this one here, let me move this over. Sorry. All right. So for this one, this is called Acorn Hollow. And again, I would have to say this is a pretty, what I would call a sophisticated line. It rings fallish because I guess of the acorns, but I would say that it's not fall in your face. I think you could leave this out at any time. We did go with a grunge, so a nice beige grunge. Cheryl will probably know the real name for it. With it, in part because one of the ones here is the grunge. So you can see here, this line has 38 already, so we didn't add to it. Because in actuality, this line actually added some of those tone on tones. They added their grunges in several colors. So it made it nice and easy to have. So there's like this dark brown grunge, a brown, then more of this gold, a pink, and then this blue, and then this blue green. All right, and then for this collection, we went with this darker, I'll show you the full. Here it is. Really pretty. It's like a navy in the back. I would say almost black. And it might actually be black. But it has the cute little fox, the bunny. I don't know what this is, possum maybe, but it's awfully big. But it's really cute. Has a lot of colors, has a bunch of the colors in it. And it is just adorable. And so that's called Acorn Hollow. And that's by Basic Gray, who is the people, the groups that bring you the grunge. which is probably why they have so many of their grunge in it. So really cool. I like how they have, some natural organic prints, and others with, some with some feathers and berries and others with some little flowers. And then of course we have, this little star here, which I have great plans for. And then several different tone on tones. And then there's some, little verbiage, some flowers. Just has a lot of movement in it, similar to the last one. There's lots of different prints of scales and sizes, which makes it a great, fabric to use in the kind of mysteries that I, write and design.
Karen wants to know if we need to be worried about stripes and plaids.
You are not going to need to worry about them because you're going to forget that they're even there. That's my philosophy. You just kind of ignore them because from a distance, they look like, 4 feet away, you can't really register them. None of these have really big, in your face. I mean, this plaid is a little bit, but it is going to be fine. I promise you. Wait do you see what I'm doing with the stripes in next week's mystery at Maine?
Oh boy.
So fun.
What are the sizes again of the finished mystery?
Sure. So the sizes are, and this is all in, there's this little download. If you go to the mystery link or you go to my website and follow the links, you'll see all of this information. So the sizes are 97 by 97 with a traditional border, and then 87 by 87 on a modern setting. So any questions? Just so to doll.
Do we have a favorite yet?
Yeah, do we want to vote on? Oh, so Rita is saying, I've never done this, so a bit confused. Do I need to be good at clues to do the blocks? So the clues are going to be your instructions. So every week I release a clue, which is anywhere from 3 to before Wenda jumps in. Could be 8 pages, depends on the number of steps. And I want to make sure I'm always giving you enough diagrams to be able to do things. So each week you get released the clue, which is your instruction step by step, right? And you also get videos released with step by step instructions. And so similar to last year, and Rita, I know you didn't do it last year, but similar to last year's holiday mystery, I'm going to try and group like units together so that you're making numerous units up front, and then we start putting them into blocks later, so that you're not learning 4 different techniques each week. You're learning 1 to 2 techniques a week and mastering them. But with this many tools, there'll definitely be new techniques each week, that you'll be learning. So did that answer your question, Rita? Perfect. Yeah. So Christine loves the Christmas. Both are really pretty.
Yeah, I know some of you are local to Yankee Quilter. I do have both fat quarter bundles in the shop, so if you wanted to see them in person, you could.
Yep.
Oops.
And I can try and turn these and see if I can get both of these under here. I think I can get almost all of them under here. Let me see. Potentially. I think I can get almost the full Christmas. Just need a little more working room, but this way you can kind of see it. So from here over is our Christmas, and then from here over is our fallish fabric. So pine and berry, and then our acorn hollow. So how many of you are loving the Christmas one?
You mean we have to choose? We can't do both?
You could certainly do both. So Cheryl, do you want to talk a little bit about the kits, the different
Sure.
kit options they have?
Yeah, let me pull up my website. So you can purchase a kit on my website, which is yankeequilter.com. When you go there, if you go to shop online and then down the left-hand side, you'll find Michelle Hiatt Mysteries. And everything for these two kits are in there. And we broke them down a couple ways. So you have a berry and pine traditional kit, which has your border. You have a berry and pine modern kit, which does not have your border, but it does have your binding. And then you have a Acorn Hollow traditional and an Acorn Hollow modern. Additionally, if you wanted a different background, I also have the fat quarter bundles on there by themselves. I also have the extra fat quarter set that goes with berry and pine by itself. If you order a kit, it's going to come with it. But a lot of times people ask for extra fat quarter bundles because they like to use more of the basic colors than some of the prints. I also have the backgrounds and the borders all separate because some people just want to use their own background, so they buy the fat quarter bundle and the border. So everything is separate, but it's also as a kit. If you buy one of the full kits, either traditional or modern, there's a $25 discount until the 15th. So it'll coincide with what Michelle's the video offer is. So I'll keep that $25 off. And there is free shipping on the kits as well. And that should automatically come up on our website. Any questions on those? And I'll tell you, if you go to the website, you might be able to see a better picture of the border fabric from the camera.
Yeah, because it is really beautiful.
It is. And if you go to, all the fabrics are from Moda. So if you go to their website and pull up each of the lines, you'll be able to see every print in the line. Any questions on the kits? I can tell you that all of the berry and pine is in stock, all of the bolts and the fat quarter bundles. And then the Acorn Hollow fat quarter bundles arrive today. So I'll probably have the yardage that goes with it in a couple weeks. They usually take a couple extra weeks.
Cheryl, is there an option to change the border on the hollow one?
On the Acorn Hollow one? There may only be one other bolt because I buy Michelle her back.
Uh-huh.
And if she switched to a different fabric for the back, then I'll have extra of that.
Okay.
In the past, I've bought extra borders, and most people just stick with the original one. So,
could you give us the website to purchase these?
yep, it's yankeequilter.com, and I'll put a link in the chat.
Okay, thank
That'll
you.
go right to the section.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
if you page up in the chat to 612, I have it there.
This is the whole fat quarter bundle. Isn't that yummy? It's heavy. That's the Acorn one. I'm not sure I'll bring these back to the store. I might have to keep them. And then this is the Christmas one, the berry and pine. And then here's I don't know if you can see. You might be able to see that. That's the background for berry and pine. You can really see the red and green on that one. And then this was the border for berry and pine. There you go. It's really pretty. And that what looks like it's gray on the camera is actually a really soft blue. It's like a steel gray blue.
Yeah, steely blue.
Steely blue. Not Steely Dan, but Steely Blue.
Yeah, so just to go through everything for those of you, I think you came up late. So I put out my website out there, soonthego.net. If you go there, you can get a link to the download that has all the information we're sharing with you and all the links. So it's the Holiday Festival is the name of the next mystery. It starts mid-July through November. It is going to be 16 clues, similar to the past. It is going to use the Tucker trimmer, the square, corner beam, corner pop, and V block. And then it has 2 fabric collections that we've chosen that you can use, and those will be used in the videos. But you can also select your own. I highly recommend selecting, considering Moda, they're the ones that definitely put out fat quarter bundles that have the same or similar mix that we use here. I'm sure Cheryl could. And then they are released weekly on Friday by midnight. There is discounted pricing for both the kits as well as the enrollment to the class, the online class. You can find out, again, all this information on my website, soonthego.net, and through the link or through the class links. The class right now is going to be $90 if you sign up by June 15th. If you, with no coupon needed, it's discounted for all who purchase before June 15th. If you wait until the 16th to June 30th, it'll go to the early bird price, which is 50% off, and that's at $120. And then it goes to full price on July 1st at $240. There's payment plans available for both. They're a little more pricey because you do get 3 months to pay them. You are going to want to pay attention in that download. There will be a link to where you will log on once you are enrolled. It does come to you in an email, but many throw out that email or can't find it. But if you already have a Teachable account because you are part of my school, then you want to just make sure you're using that same email to enroll so that all your courses are in the same place. The quilt size is going to be, for the traditional, 97 by 97. The modern, without that traditional border, is going to be 87 by 87. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have a piece border, as all of you know who follow the mystery. I typically put a piece border in there for you. The fabric requirements are 38 fat quarters, and then you need 6 1/4 yards of background and 3 yards of border if you're doing the traditional, and 3/4 if you're doing the modern version. Those kits are available at theyankeequilter.com. The links are in the chat as well. And these are, to Cheryl's point, she just said, they are screen printed as well. So these aren't digitally printed. So therefore, you're seeing more, I'm calling it sophisticated, but I would say that it's more, I think it's elegant. I just think both of them are, but they're using, for those of you who've taken my color class, you know that screen printed fabric only holds 6 colors. It might be different shades of those colors, but it's not as many multiple colors. And they're all really good scale prints. Like there's no, even the florals are not humongous. So we've gotten some feedback in the past that people thought the florals were too big, I can speak. So this time we made sure that we kind of stayed a little bit smaller in scale, but they're really adorable. Both of them are.
The Christmas version is by, I never say it right, Layla Boutique, and she does a lot of fabric lines for Moda, and they all kind of have the same feel. So if you've had one of theirs before, it's the same feel. It's just new prints, new colors.
Yep. And if you had lines of hers previously, you could intermix them as well if you wanted to.
Oh, will you tell us the size of the blocks? That was Karen.
No. Because I'm putting it together in an unusual way. So The blocks
Is-
isn't gonna do anything for you.
Is it, previously, all of your holiday quilts have been medallions?
It is a medallion, yes. I
Okay.
stuck with that. But it's not gonna be put together. It's gonna be, for those of you who did last year's Christmas series, it's gonna be similar to that, in that we're going to focus more on units in the beginning, and then putting them together as a block when we complete the last unit that goes with that block, so that you're not doing 4 or 5 different techniques. So prior to that, like the first 6, I would have you put together, 4 blocks each week. And if it had 4 techniques, you did 4 techniques. But it worked much better for me last year, and I heard a lot of good things from those of you who did it, that you liked the way it was laid out better last year. So.
Tracy asked to see the border print again, so I'm holding it up.
Oh, sure. I can spotlight you.
It's pretty.
It's very pretty.
Someone is asking, is it the squared ruler? Is it A and B? Or is it the
So
square?
it's not the large square that's required, but the large square will certainly work. It's like having a big hammer for a little nail. But the normal squared, that's newer. So the small one that says squared spelled out, will have those crosshairs, which will be needed. So if you have the one that came out over 10 years ago and has square and a little number 2, that will not have the crosshairs on it that you'll need. But if you have the squared written out, or the large square, which has a part A and part B, they will work.
What tools are you using for this one?
Sure, it's in the download that you can get at sewonthego.net, but we'll read them off. They're the Tucker Trimmer 1, the squared, the corner bean, the corner pop, the V block, and the Quilter's Magic Wand.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there are 5 tools, but these have all been out for a very long time. And if you've done any of my previous mysteries, more than likely you have half of these at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got all of those. So that's great.
Yes.
Okay.
Evelyn, you will probably want to pay attention if your bucket list is Maine. I do have a couple spots left in my fall Maine quilt camp, that I'm just waiting to see if my spring campers are going to sign up for those last few spots. But I plan on putting out an email towards the end of June, that will have all the links to spots that I have available. But currently, I do have a few in my Vermont retreat in November. I have, I think, 3 spots left in my Paducah quilt retreat. That's the Seam Quilt Retreat here in Paducah, which is going to be fantastic. And then I have currently a couple spots in my fall Rangeley, Maine retreat.
How about your Connecticut ones?
Oh, my Connecticut summer one is sold out. And then I don't have a January one this year, but Char, you're doing a UFO one, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
And so they should reach out to you about any open spots in that.
Yeah, I haven't sent, I have to send out to the original group first. I haven't done that yet from last year.
Yeah. I mean, you can email me if you are interested in the summer cabin fever, or I call it summer fever in Connecticut, because final payments are due, and I'm gonna send one last reminder this week on those, and then I should see if I have any spots that open. That's when the cancels come in, is when the final payment is due. But spring camp in Rangeley is full.
Always is.
Yep. And that one is a definite go for next year. I'm just going back and forth on the dates with them. So those spots go first to those who attend this year. And then if there's any open spots, that's what I plan on putting in my email late June. Any open spots I have for fall quilt camp in Maine, and any spring camp for next year that I have open. I had a lot of obligations when I took my full-time position with AQS. So now that I've been in it for a bit, as well as been in Kentucky for 6 months, I have a better sense of what I'm truly able to do. So I will continue with the 2 mysteries per year, and then 5 quilt retreats a year. And one will always be one of the AQS quilt retreats, and then I plan on doing more than likely the 2 in Connecticut, definitely 1, if not 2, and then 1 to 2 in Maine, depending on how fall signups go again for next year, would determine if I'm doing 1 or 2 there. And then depending on if I'm doing 2 in Maine and 2 in Connecticut, I will not do the 1 in Stronghouse. But if I'm only doing 1 of them, then I will pick up the Stronghouse. And that would always be in November.
I love a
So
dark
Ellen,
background.
yes, we actually debated the dark background.
We did.
And who knows what will be for the next mystery. Cheryl and I have to pick out fabric for that. I'm sure that's one of our tasks we'll do next week when we're together.
I'll bring the
But that
books.
is something that we've definitely been thinking about. We get mixed feelings. People either love it or they hate it. And for me, the difficulty is that most of the diagrams that I have represent background in light. And for me to, and so I would have to have the diagram still in the light, in the background, in the light, because it would cost me a tremendous amount of money to have all new graphics done for a dark background. So those are just the 2 caveats. So traditionally, if we do go with a mystery that has a dark background, it traditionally is the alternate fabric. And you just have to be able to know in the diagrams you're flipping the fabric color. But Cheryl, they could certainly replace, I would say the Christmas one is probably a little easier to go with a dark background than the other, just because of the Acorn Hollow has a lot of dark browns.
And there's no reason, there's nothing that says you have to use either one of those options. You can pick your own options and go with a dark background.
Yep.
You could do it in all solids. We just got in all new art gallery, the new 12 new colors of art gallery, and they're all pastel solids. But doing that with a dark background would be ta-da.
Oh, pop. Big
Yeah.
time.
There's options.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have a ton of fat quarter bundles in the shop yet because they take a while to build up inventory after the loss. So, but I have some.
Yeah. And if any of you sit there with old fabric bundles of mysteries you haven't started, you might be able to use some of them.
Because if you look back, all of the mysteries have about the same number of fat quarter bundles, about the same amount of background and border. So you could use an older collection that you haven't got to yet.
For sure.
Did you reveal the fabric already?
We did. We could show you again.
I haven't seen it. I just came online.
No problem.
Sure. Let me get one at a time up for you. Hold on.
Oh, good, Evelyn. I can't wait to see you. The shop looks a little different and all the Halloween fabric is arriving. So we got you covered.
Okay. So this is the Christmas fabric.
Okay.
And it's a little turned around here. So let me turn it back. So this is the background that we selected. It's white with little red and green dots and little silvery blue, I would say. And then this is the border we selected. It really is a sophisticated line. I just love the scale is not humongous, but yet we still have some floral elements. It has some musical graphs as well as more dots, a little bit of Christmas trees or evergreen trees, different little zigs and zags. We augmented it with a couple, 2 solids and 4 more dots because we felt we needed a little bit of the lighter red available and a couple more lighter greens. So it is pretty ta-da.
Is that the Moda?
Both of these are Modas. This is berry and pine.
Okay.
And we often go with Moda, one, because they're terrific to work with for us and our little thing that we do here. And then two, because they do have lines that have over 30 fat quarters, which is usually what's required.
Okay.
This is also Moda, and this is Acorn and Hollow. And for this, we have the grunge background, like a grunge beige. I'm sure there's a more official name to it. And then this really fun border with little foxes. And
Oh, that's cute.
I think that might be a
Adorable.
pig, but I'm not sure. Rabbits. It does have a spider, I just noticed in it. Little bugs, little hedgehogs. It's really, really adorable. She's done
They're both-
this gray, basic gray. They've done like a kids line that had a couple of these little figures in it, and it's really cute. But you can see basically we have yellow to gold to brown, as well as pink and blue. But really neat looking for sure.
We can sign up tonight.
Yes, you can sign up tonight and get the Zoom special. So if you go to sewonthego.net, you can see the link to the download. And so here, let me just spotlight myself here for a second. Yeah, so you can see here, you'll have this little download that gives you all the information about the dates, the tools needed, all of that good stuff. You can, so it's, sign up tonight, it's $90 for the clue and class, which gets you your weekly clues, which is your instructions, your step-by-step instructions, right and left-handed. And then it also gives you the online classes, which gives you from fabric selection to cutting tips to step-by-step of the unit or block and or both construction. And then so it's $90 if you sign up before June 15th. And then on June 16th to June 30th, it's the half price, which is $120. July 1st is full price at $240. You can use your own fat quarter bundle. The fabric requirements are there. It's 38 fat quarters, 6 1/4 yards of background, and then 3 yards of border and binding fabric. You can also get the links to the Yankee Quilter, who I've partnered with to, as always, Cheryl and her fantastic team, to put together the kits. And they have them both for sale. And those, Cheryl, are discounted through June 15th as well, correct?
They are. They're all $25 off and free shipping on the sets of kits.
And you can either purchase the traditional kit, which has the fat quarters, background, and border, or the modern, which has the fat quarters, background, and binding, or you can purchase just the fat quarters. But the fat quarters do not have the discount, right?
Correct. Or the free shipping. And I will add one thing on the kits, just because of bolt math, like the way the fabric comes on a bolt, I upped the background to 6 1/2 yards. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with lots of 1/4 yard pieces left over. So I increased it just to make our cutting life easier. And you have a little extra background.
Yes. Let me see here if I can hold them up, Cindy, instead.
I see you have your Lamoni stars on your board.
Yes, my little stars. They're waiting to go together.
Do you have them? I have them if you don't.
I
Yeah,
have.
I do. I'm going to try and spotlight and see if I can show them on this camera. Let's see here. All right, so these are the first 3, Cindy, and then these are the, let's see here, second 3. Yeah, so there are 2 solids, a pink and a green, and then a little sagey green dot. And then we have that steely blue, and then a light pink, and then a more peonies pink.
They're beautiful.
They really are. just want to do something with them.
I know. They've been sitting on my desk all week in a little pretty stack and they're just yummy.
Oh. And then Sandy, let's see, she asked how much the kits are. Cheryl, do you have that off the top of your?
Yeah, let me pull it up. The traditional kits with the $25 off are $284.99 and the modern kits are $254.99. And those are discounted $25 with free shipping until the 15th.
Cool.
Decisions.
Oh, I already know what I'm doing.
Jenny, the specialty rulers are the Tucker trimmer one, the squared where it's spelled out, or if you have the large square A and B, that will work as well. The corner beam, the corner pop, the V block, and then the magic wand. So 5 rulers and then the magic wand. But nobody leaves home without the magic wand, right? It's like your color tool. You gotta have it. And all this again is available. If you go to sewonthego.net, you can get all the links there to the download, as well as the links to signing up for the class, to purchase the fabric. All the links are available on my website, as well as the download for the class. With the traditional border, 97 by 97, or the modern setting, 87 to 87. And the only difference is that there's an outside traditional solid group of border.
So should we do some contact information if people have questions?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So you can reach me through my website, sewonthego.net, or you can reach me at Michelle with 2 L's Hiatt, Hiatt at sewonthego.net. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me. And I traditionally answer emails traditionally in the evening and definitely on Fridays.
And you can reach us at the store at Yankee Quilter at 203-888-9196. Or you can email me, which is Cheryl, CHERYL at yankeequilter.com. And just so we all know, if you're new to us, Michelle does the clue in the class, Yankee Quilter does the fabric. I can't help you get into Teachable, and she can't get you more fabric. We try, we talk to each other, but
Yes.
I can't log into her computer. She can't log into my computer.
We hope you join us. It's always fun. And this is, I didn't really go into much on the name. I didn't get any questions about festival. But think about celebrations, and this quilt is, in my head at least, representative of things that you see in a celebration.
You. Another clue, perhaps.
Maybe. See, now I just lied. When I told her she wouldn't miss anything. We're sharing. Anyhow. All right. Anything else, ladies? And I am hoping some of you will come down and visit me here. With the quilt retreat that we have coming up in Paducah, or for Paducah Quilt Week next year. But I'd love to see you in person. During Quilt Week, I don't really have a lot of time. So it's 18-hour days for 3 weeks running to make that happen and to keep it going. So, but the quilt retreat, I'll have a much more time to spend with you. And SEAM, for those of you who don't know, we call it AQS SEAM Quilt Retreat because it's shared experiences amongst members, is what it stands for. So. And Sandy's just a few hours away. All right, everyone. If there's nothing else, we'll sign off. Any final questions?
Nothing coming through.
All right. Well, thank you all very, very much. We hope to see you soon.